From Life, Law, and Lattes, this is Before Forever, a guided conversation series exploring the questions couples should ask before marriage or long-term commitment. Because strong relationships are built on more than love. They're built through honesty, alignment, and intentional conversation. Now here's your host, attorney, author, and life strategist, Nadia Gilkes.
Hello and welcome to Life, Law, and Lattes. I'm your host, Nadia Gilkes, and whether you're one of my regular listeners or brand new here, thank you for joining me. Now, if you've been listening for a while, you may notice things sound a little different around here. The music is softer, the vibe is softer, and yes, that's intentional. Because today we're beginning a very special series called Before Forever, one conversation at a time. This series is inspired by my forthcoming book, Before Forever, a guided collection of conversation starters designed to help couples explore questions that truly matter before marriage or long-term commitment. So for the next several weeks, we're slowing things down a bit. One question, one conversation, one layer deeper at a time. And whether you're dating, engaged, already married, or simply reflecting on what you want in a relationship, this space is for you. Now, before we get too comfortable in my new smooth jazz coffee house moment, I want to start by saying something simple but honest. I know people can be deceptive. And sometimes people will outright lie to you. But that's on them. Not asking the questions at all, that's on you. Now, this series is not about blame. It's about awareness, because so many of the issues that show up later in relationships don't start later. They grow over time because they were never discussed. So this series and the book that it's based on comes from real life. From what I've seen as a family law attorney, sitting across from people untangling a life that they thought was full of hope and promise. From conversations that didn't happen or didn't go deep enough until it was too late. From viral moments that we see on social media where people are asking, how did they not know? How did they not catch that? How did they miss that? And from quieter conversations at work, over coffee, within my own network, where the same themes come up again and again. Misalignment, assumptions, silence, where there should have been conversation. This isn't about interrogating your partner. It's about understanding them better. It's about understanding yourself better and how you show up in your relationship. It's about being intentional about the life you're about to build together. Each episode will center around one question. And it's not meant to be rushed. It's really meant for you to take the time to sit with each other and explore it and answer the questions honestly. I've also created a free companion workbook that goes along with this podcast series. You can download that worksheet from the resources page at elegalcafe.com. That's elegalcafe.com. And that worksheet is there to help you reflect, take notes, and really engage with these conversations as you move through this podcast series. So if you want to pause on an episode, come back later, revisit a conversation with your partner, that workbook gives you a perfect place to do that. Now, I do want to point out that this series and the workbook that goes along with it and my forthcoming book, Before Forever, it's not meant to ask everything. I can't possibly ask everything. But it's a starting point for your conversation. So if a question or a topic brings something up for you, stay there, expand on it, Ask the follow-up questions that will make you feel more comfortable moving forward. This isn't about rushing through the guidebook, checking boxes. It's about really taking the time to understand each other. And if you notice areas that need to be fleshed out a little more, spend the time doing that. Now, as you go through the book, you will notice there's a lot of things I don't touch on. Who's cooking? Who's cleaning? Who's taking out the trash? That may look different for every couple, and that can be decided amongst yourselves how you are going to run your home day to day. As you move through this guidebook, you're not expected to agree on everything. But just because you have differences does not mean that you have failed or should give up. It's just an opportunity to recognize those differences, talk them through, and decide how you're going to move forward together. That's what truly helps you build a strong foundation. So, over the next several weeks, we'll walk through the conversations together, one at a time. Some questions may feel easy, some will very likely be uncomfortable. Every conversation matters. And again, if you'd like to follow along and take more extensive notes as you listen, you can go to illegalcafe.com/resources and download that reflection workbook. So when you're ready, feel free to tune into another episode and start the conversation. As a hint, next week, we're starting with a foundational question. How do you feel about practicing different faiths or traditions as a couple? If this episode or this conversation resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe wherever you are listening. Pass this on to someone who may benefit from this conversation so they can join in too. Until next time, I thank you for listening and tuning in. Keep having the conversations that matter.
You've been listening to Before Forever, a guided conversation series from Life, Law, and Lattes. Download the free Before Forever Reflection Workbook at illegalcafe.com/resources. And until next time, keep asking the questions that matter.